Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh?
Oh, look at the dog cameras working again. Except they're not on the camera. Oh well. There's Clancy. He's been kind of difficult lately, peeing everywhere. As soon as you let him out, he lifts his leg up on something. Even though he pees on the pad inside there. But he's only 5 months old now, so I guess we'll see. Hey, thank you very much, GSUPM. A super sticker. Yeah, so I was planning on doing a show anyways tonight regarding the Delphi case and having people call in that are pro Richard Allen people, because I keep trying to give them the opportunity to call up and, you know, like, for example, Lauren on Hidden True Crime, she interviewed Jerry Holman. Holman's somebody that I, throughout the years texted here and there and talked to a couple times when he was looking into leaks and different things like that. And even when I was on the documentary, I was like, hey, he was complimentary and stuff like that. So I've actually, I don't know him like, oh, we're buddies or something, but I've communicated with him before. And he was on, he did an interview with Lauren over there, and I was going to wait till the beginning of the year, because he said after his vacation, so I guess I waited, whatever. I mean, I'm sure I'll get, some of the stuff will be overlap, but some will be stuff that, specifically just over the years. It was interesting, the part when they discussed Keegan Klein, and, I'd like to know if, the question I want to ask Jerry Holman is, do you think that Richard Allen knew that Abby and Libby were going to be there? Is that what you get? Do you guys believe that? And if so, how did he know that? Because it sounded like they didn't really close the door on there possibly being a link between Keegan Klein and Richard Allen. Hey, thanks, Toxic Tank. Yeah, so they didn't close the door on that. I mean, that's what he sounded like. If they got information, they'd come forward, but he sort of used, things like the apps that they were using, that it hides information. Because I've always thought that, it's too much to ask. Because even in that interview, Holman said that, yes, Keegan Klein communicated with the girls, with Libby, and they looked into the possibility. He told me at one point that he's the person that told me that they could never find a connection. That was just during another investigation. When they were investigating the leak of the crime scene photos. We talked for a minute, and I just asked him that one simple question, and they've never been able to find a link between Keegan Klein and Richard Allen. So it's like, jeez, unbelievable. But it's just like, wow, what amazing coincidence that is. That you have the an account that's communicating with Abby and Libby, and apparently was even, told one of their friends, "Hey, I was supposed to meet him that day, but they never showed up." And so the only reason that the catfishing account didn't get to meet them, but that's obviously a lie, because there wasn't a person waiting around there, and they never showed up, right? So, either way, it's just, what are the odds that on the same weekend, a catfishing account and then just a random killer is communicating with those girls? Just that alone. Pretty crazy, isn't it? All right, so I think we'll just do. I mean, is there anybody out there that wants to call in, because they've got it all figured out? Because when I was in that chat, on my channel, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you have thousands of people, it's hard to deal with it. But there were so many people in there that were saying stuff like, even disparaging of Lauren, like, "Oh, I used to be a fan, but then when she thought that Richard Allen did it, man, I'm not a fan anymore." And what a childish thing to say, I mean, unbelievable. Especially given the facts. Now, I'll tell you what, if it was the reverse of that, if somehow during that trial, given the information that was presented, she came up with, "Oh, I don't think he did it," I'd be just shocked, because the information, obviously shows that he is the killer, okay? So that's when you should get disappointed in people, is when the evidence is so overwhelming in one direction and they support the direction that the evidence doesn't support. That's when you should get upset about somebody. But if you're going to be upset about somebody for thinking Richard Allen's the killer, because he is, he's been found guilty by a jury of his peers, right? Everybody on that jury is probably smarter than he is. So the thing is he was found guilty. And you guys always said, "Gray, what about innocent until proven guilty, you bastard?" Every single day. Do you remember how many times I had to hear that, you guys? When I'd be saying, Richard Allen is the killer. Look at this. He is the bridge guy, therefore is the killer. "Gray, how can you say that? He's innocent until proven guilty." Okay, well, guess what, everybody? There was a trial, and he was proven guilty and found guilty. All right. There you go. So how come you haven't changed your mind yet? They were found guilty he was found guilty by 12 people. And you're still out there going, "Oh, he didn't do it, he didn't do it." Right, okay. Unreal. Am I echoing for you guys? I just realized I don't think I turned off my echo cancellation. There we go. Yeah, because of dexterity. Hey, thanks, Herbert Landscaping, for all your landscaping needs. All right. No, hold on. All right. There it is, Gray, the wine. Well, that's just the way it is, man. I've never seen so many people complaining over and over again about innocent until proven guilty, except none of them said it. Oh, wait, one of the comments somebody made to me over there was, Gray. Would you feel the same? Isn't it the same as the Casey Anthony case? I mean, and I'm like, no, it's the exact opposite. If Richard Allen, in this case, had been found not guilty, I would have thought it would be exactly like Casey Anthony, where people were just sold a bill of goods, and there'll never be another trial. I said this to you guys. Richard Allen is the killer. He's the only person that answered any of the questions. In fact, he answered every question that law enforcement had. So he answered all of those. He answered, Who was the person that was parked at the abandoned CPS building? Who was the person that the 4 girls saw? Who was the person that Betsy Blair saw? And whose bullet was left at the crime scene? And who was the person in Libby's video? Well, there you go. He answered all 5 of those questions, just like that. And it was all proven. And basically, all law enforcement had to do was prove that Richard Allen was the bridge guy, which he is, and then everything else falls in place, as I said 1,000 times. And Jerry Holman, when you watch him there, if you can't tell that guy's an honest person, then there's something wrong with you. That guy that's just, he's a tough guy, he's strong-headed. He, just his explanations that you heard. I unfortunately I wasn't able to listen to the entire interview. I just kind of skipped to the second half, or listened to the first part for a while, then the second half. So I have to go back and listen to it all. But he's, the sad part is these guys worked their asses off, and they were doing it without the most crucial piece of information, the tip of Richard Allen going in and reporting himself at the police station for being there. Like, hey, I was there. And that's the one piece that they were missing the entire time. This case, like I keep saying, would have been over, I don't know, probably February. They wouldn't even have had that press conference on the 22nd. I think it would have been over. They wouldn't even have done it. They would have been like, oh, you were there? Okay, wow. Those 3 girls? And they would have just went ding, 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 and have been over on the 22nd. They wouldn't even have had that first press conference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys want to do it where I can put up if I do the StreamYard's link, you don't have to have your face on the screen or anything. You can just use it like it's a phone. Just don't activate your camera. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the... let's see, where is it? Copy. I'm going to put it in the chat. And maybe I'll just pin it at the top. And that's if you want to. I want people to call in that think he didn't do it, and come up with, and not using the Odinist people, because that's what your out always is. Well, what about what's his face? He said, God, come on. And you guys, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. We got a, sort of a slower kind of start here. There you go. There's Jessica Schubach. Thank you. We got our donation night is coming up in 3 days on the 31st. What do you mean, let us have it? It's right there. Who? The link's in the chat. It's pinned at the top. There you go. You can call in and give us all your great points, Should I put on the look at okay, see my face, how there's some freckles and stuff on it? You guys ever see it? Look at this crazy touch up. You click on this touch up thing and look at my face now, man. It looks like a plastic surgeon went haywire. I mean, there isn't anything. Oh, I mean, my God, is this even real? Look at this. Yeah, hey, StreamYard, I think you need to work on that one. Yeah, so let me get rid of the, I don't want that on there. I'm just me, I know, it's ridiculous. Crazy. Well, where are you guys? Come on, all you pro Richard Allen's people. Give me your best shot. Come on, you guys. Come on down. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Tell me how Richard Allen didn't do it. Come on. Tell me how Richard Allen didn't do it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Yep. Where are all these guys, and gals? There's always these girls that show up on every time. I don't know what these bigger live streams, they show up in there and they're always like, Gray, they say, oh yeah, let's see, what is it? How do you know the doctor, Richard Allen's doctor, the psychologist? And I go, I don't know. I never even heard of her until the trial happened. Or I guess there was a couple reports that came out just prior to the trial, like in the 4 or 5 months prior. Right? They say that because I was told a rumor. Somebody goes, hey, there's a rumor that he said in one of his confessions to a psychologist that he saw a van. And what happens in these prisons is people talk, like maybe the psychologist told, somebody else that they work with, and then that person said to somebody, and then it makes it to a certain, certain type of person, and it makes it out there. But what difference does it make? I heard of the rumor a year after Richard Allen said it. You understand that? It's just amazing how it doesn't make sense to people in their brains, because it's more fun to just keep going after somebody. Thank you, BGPO. Yeah. And I got, I was over there, and I don't know. I always get attacked when I'm on those live streams. If I just say a word, they come out of the woodwork. These geniuses that are available. They always think they're so, they got it all figured out, man. Look at me now. What about the striation marks on the... Hey, listen, dude. You lost, okay? You didn't win. Your guy didn't win. A double child killer didn't get set free because you found some loophole. But see, Gray, we don't think he did it. Well, then who did? I mean, who else could it be? All right? Richard Allen is trapped as the bridge guy. He is the bridge guy, everybody. There is no doubt. 100%. I've gone over it so many times, it's mind-boggling. I don't even have the animation up because I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, it was targeted in the chat. But it always happens, too. And then whenever I sort of defend myself, then I become the bad person. It's the classic passive-aggressive attack. They attack you, you attack back, and then they say, what do you mean, Gray? I just meant... Oh, okay. Yeah, that was kind of... Well, I mean, what about the polygraph? Just that he didn't want to take one, or what? I don't know if it was fascinating. It was just new information. Yeah, well, Holman's had to deal with that the whole time. A lot of people thought, said he looks like the bridge guy. He doesn't look like the bridge guy at all. I mean, he has no similarities at all to the bridge guy, other than he's Caucasian. Okay. Look at Richard Allen and look at Jerry Holman. Do they look the same? No. They said he looked like the sketch of the bridge guy, though. What are you sorry for, Troublemaker Baker? Come on, you guys. There it is. There's a link, man. Make the case. What is it? So somebody on that, some woman on the on that live stream, and to me it doesn't really matter, because the same, if you're a woman or a man, and Richard Allen just telling you what it was. If you're a man or a woman and you're sitting there defending Richard Allen, you're the same type. But they were just saying the most craziest things. I forgot what it was that they said now, because I started thinking of something else. Hey, thanks, Little Puppy Paws. Yeah, is it Troublemaker Baker? Oh, you're one of the mods over there, aren't you? Yeah. I think you are, anyways. Anyways, I got timed out over there, but it wasn't Lauren or anybody. I think there's like a rogue, somebody doesn't like me. Kind of makes me wonder if it's like an X mod or something like that. Yeah, there was a lot of nice comments, but then I got timed out. And it wasn't Lauren didn't do it, but what's that say? Poor Gray, I couldn't go over that here with. I don't know. I don't even know what you're referring to. A lot of people were happy you were there. Yeah, it was cool. But as soon as I say anything, these trolls that are just waiting around, waiting for Gray to say something, and then what it is they get little feeder people that are out in different places, and then quickly report back, and then they all come in together. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I tried to get a lot of good points in there. Yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for just some pro Richard Allen person without their little minions in the crowd cheering them on to come out and tell me how there's somebody else out there. There goes my stomach. That there's somebody else out there that is more, that completely takes the place of Richard Allen. Like, Richard Allen was just the wrong guy, and then there's this other person. And what did they say? Oh, yeah, that lady said, there's no DNA, there's no nothing in this case. How dare you? And I was thinking, what do you mean there's no DNA, no nothing? What trial did you watch? What case have you been following? There's no DNA, no nothing. What do you mean there's no nothing? Richard Allen said he got there at 1:30 and left at 3:30. He told that to Dan Doolin. And then he tried to change the story. Later, 5 years later, he tried to change it to 12 to 1:30. Unfortunately for him, the same three girls that saw him also cleared the trails between 12:20 and 1:30. So he wasn't even there during that time, and that's exactly when he said he was there. But then there's a car that drives by the Hoosier Harvest store at 1:27, and it's a black vehicle, and it looks exactly like a black Ford Focus, 2016 black Ford Focus. Even had the same rims on it, for God's sakes. And that proved that, yes, and then that circumstantial piece of evidence, and him saying he parked at an old building there, and that's the only building that's there that he could park at that's not private property. And then he even pointed to it on a map. So he parked there, and then he walks on the trail, and lo and behold, those same three girls, as they're leaving, see him. So now Richard Allen's locked into getting there at 1:30. And it takes about 11, 12 minutes to walk to the Monon High Bridge. So he gets there, parks the car at 1:27, takes 3 or 4 minutes to walk around, so 1:33, and 11 minutes he passes the girls, and 11 minutes later, 1:44, he makes his way he's at the Monon High Bridge, and he's looking at fish, he says. That's 1:44. But then Betsy Blair gets there at 1:47, gets out of her vehicle, and walks straight to the bridge. So Richard Allen wouldn't have had time to run by her. So when he gets there, she gets to the bridge, she sees him standing on platform 1. And that's exactly the platform that Richard Allen himself said he was standing on when he got to the bridge. Wow, what a coincidence. But she happened to be 111 feet, not 50 feet, from the first platform. She turned around at the barricade, not the bridge. And when you measure that, it's like 111 feet. Thanks, Amy Moore. Then when after Betsy Blair looks out and sees Richard Allen standing on platform 1, because that is Richard Allen, because he said he was standing there. He's also wearing exactly the same clothing that the bridge guy is wearing. And when Betsy Blair was asked, who did you see? she described him differently, but then when she saw the bridge guy image, she said, yeah, that's the person I saw. So then after Betsy Blair turns around, she walks back, leaving Richard Allen behind her. And as she's walking back, she passes Abby and Libby. That means Abby and Libby, therefore, have to run into Richard Allen standing on the bridge. But maybe Richard Allen saw them coming and walked on the trail a little ways, waiting and watching, like he said, that he sort of he lied in wait, and he watched them go across the bridge, and then he followed them across the bridge, and then he takes them down the hill, ejecting a bullet before that, down the hill, tries to assault them down below. I think he was going to take him back to a corner. Holman thought maybe underneath the bridge, but I'm thinking back in that little corner, because underneath the bridge would be pretty risky for anybody else coming across that bridge. But if you go back in that little corner area, I think that's a location. So anyways, and he, for protecting his own life, he killed the girls and he covered them with branches, and then he left. And he went and lived his life. And he withered away after that. All right, there you go. Hey, thanks, Georgina Stoliker and Amy Moore. Yep, just trying to get to the goal again tonight, you guys. We're currently at, I don't know, 20, not even 20%, like 15. Yeah, it's not every killer, because you don't see people supporting Rex Heuermann out there, right? Maybe he was deemed just a little too much, you know. But you got the Brian Koberger supporters, you got the Richard Allen supporters, you got the Luigi Mangione supporters. They're all just cuckoo people. And every one of them are going to be wrong. Luigi Mangione is a killer. Now, they probably all, the people who support Luigi Mangione probably believe that he's the killer. They just support what he did, which makes you just as bad as the killer. Okay? Because that you can't have that mindset in a civilized society. Oh, it's okay to kill because you don't like their business practices. What a joke. It is kind of a new trend. All right, so where are the Richard Allen lackeys, man? Where are you? Call in, for God's sakes. You got the StreamYard's link up there. How about anybody can call in about anything using the StreamYard link, okay, about this case. But if you guys could please help support the channel tonight. We're way behind. I'd appreciate it. Got to go into the end of the month strong here. Yeah, those are just random cases. You know why people support them? Because Manson was... I don't think a lot of people supported Manson that much. His followers did. But Bundy, yeah, I mean, there's because he's cute, you know. Look at, like, I tell you what, if Luigi Mangione looked like Rex Heuermann, he'd have no supporters. Okay? Let's be honest. Yeah, you can even get me a cup of coffee. We have none of those yet. No new members, no cups of coffee, struggling right out of the gate tonight. What about the three unknown? Oh, you got to call in, man. Those aren't anything. Those, when you say, what about the three unknown phones in the area of the crime scene? They aren't unknown to them. Yeah, it's just all the other ones that were there. For example, Cheyenne was there during the time. She was on the bridge, and there was her two friends, probably one of her friends had one and somebody else had a phone. It's just, you know, if those meant anything at all, then they would have looked into it for that reason. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I just explained it to you. So some people want to argue just for the sake of arguing. Yeah. Well, I want people to call in tonight to let us all know their amazing theories on how Richard Allen isn't the killer and it's just somebody else. Yeah, this isn't a case where there's like two things where you go, well, it's either this or that, you know? It's either like it's really close, sort of, It isn't one of those. It's not one of those cases. This is one that there's only one person that answered the questions that law enforcement had over the years, and that's Richard Allen. Holman even said that. He said at first they thought maybe there was other people, but as the time went by over the years, he thought, sure, one person could easily just do this themselves. Hey, thanks, Jimmy. Yes, Michaelis. Let's see. Gray, have you ever been called as an expert witness? Your work on Google Maps for the case of the reconstruction of that 04 house seems like they, well, not in this case, like not here, but I made an animation for a prosecutor in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, probably like in 2014. I made a whole animation of an elevator incident where it was actually an assault charge against the it was so disturbing. He just turned off all of the safety mechanisms with no cones or anything. And this lady had her leg almost completely ripped off and traveled, I think, 7 floors all the way to the 8th floor at the top of the building, dragging her leg through the gap between the elevator door and the floor, which you've seen that. It's like a ½ inch. Okay. So yes, I went there and I was, prepared to testify and everything. But the judge and the defense allowed the video as being accurate prior to, so I never even had to go in, but I sort of wanted to try, but I didn't do it. And then I made another animation for another incident over there, but that one that never went to trial or anything. But we won. The jury said that the video is really kind of what's solidified the whole thing. He got 2 years. So, and he found out about me because of my Jodi Arias videos. I don't know if you guys ever seen those, but if you ever like bored out of your mind, even if you're not bored, you should go check out the some of the animations I made on that. It's crazy. I made an exact replica of the bathroom using crime scene photos, a diagram, etc. And it looked exactly the same. That's kind of where I started doing YouTube. That was back in 2000 and God, what year was that? 2012 or so. I put videos out on that. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Lillian. So we got a couple coffees in here. We got one from Michelle and Lisa, and then a PayPal from Lillian. Yeah, I should have got more than that. She lived, the lady, but she was in a coma for a month. And she kept her leg, and I don't know. I think she probably should have just called it a day on that leg. That leg just, I guess it's hard to do, but it seems like it's going to cause a lot of pain for the rest of her life. And thank you up there to Jamie S. Appreciate that. So come on, where are all of the Richard Allen people? You guys can ask me questions too. Super chats get the priority, obviously. That's how they work. Yeah, well, I made a lot of videos in the Kenneka Jenkins case using animation as well. I think they absolutely showed exactly what happened, and it just is what happened. There was nothing nefarious at all going on. Amazing. I was the only person on YouTube. It seems to be common where I look at cases, and when I see the reality of it, a lot of times it's against the popular opinion. In the Kenneka Jenkins case, I virtually was the only person out of every single person covering it that got it right. Okay? So, you can take that for what it is. We're currently at 20% now, you guys, of a normal nightly goal. I don't think so, Roger. People try to make there be a connection just to, I don't know. I think there's absolutely zero connection between Flora and Delphi. What does Richard Allen have to do with burning, like setting a house on fire? They're absolutely not connected at all. Thanks, Double Play Dog Dude. Happy New Year to yourself. Hope everybody had a good Christmas as well. Yeah, except I was in the trenches in the Kenneka Jenkins case and I purchased the entire surveillance camera. Law enforcement released all of the surveillance footage in the Kenneka Jenkins case, and you could buy it if you sent them $60, $50 for the hard drive and $10 for shipping. They would just send you all the footage, and I got it all, and I found every single moment. I actually was able to figure out, like, okay, this is where she should be, and I could track her around. She was only walking for less than 8 minutes, and she just all the way from the, I think it was like 8th or 9th floor, all the way down to the basement levels, and then started walking, stumbling down the halls, made her way into a kitchen, and locked herself into a freezer. And she was too intoxicated to figure out how to get out. That's the truth. Yeah, Strawberry Rain was always around at that time, but I'm not sure what you were sort of thought she was, something happened to her too, though, right? I don't know. Like somebody did something. But you got to admit, man, there was every time somebody would create videos, they'd make these videos and show a little shadow or something, and I would just debunk the living crap out of it immediately. And I probably made 50 debunking videos, and when I make them, people will just go, "Oh, damn, yep, got another one." Jeez, because these people would make videos that were so nobody's called in yet. Yeah, I've got you have to just use the StreamYards there. Maybe we could do the Skype. Man, I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work. I could have Skype too. Yeah, nobody's called in. They don't call in because they have a difficult time when they're not talking to their crowd, their little buddies that believe, oh, poor Richard Allen, like that idiot After Dark or whatever hell her name is. Jesus. Let's see. Had done a high home appraisal. Right, sure. What's wrong? There isn't a lot of appraisers that live in that area. So why is it a big deal that she appraised the same house that the Flora fire was in? Why does it matter to anybody? It's so stupid. Like, what would be the purpose of it? Can anybody give me this? What's the motive behind the Flora fire if you're trying to connect it to the Delphi case? How are they connected? Okay, so are they Odinists or what? Who are these people? Yeah, that's what I thought. Nothing. All right, you guys want to do, I can try to do the phone call version for anybody who wants to try to do this. All right, there it is. I don't know why you can't do the Skype, though. You just click on it. It's really simple. Not sure where this thing is. I'm trying to open up a file here, but it's not working. Huh. Yeah, there's no connection at all between Flora and Delphi, and the fact that Patty did an appraisal at that house at some point is absolutely irrelevant. You know, like what possible relationship? See, that's where you got to listen to people like Slow Joe. He'll come up with something for you. Oh, there it is. I was looking. That's what I was looking for right there. Sure, you know the case where a girl was killed and found in the woods, Indiana, a few years ago, I think. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people thought a lot of different things. As an act for figuring out things went down. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. You know, I figure stuff out. Somebody just asked, "Are you okay at Gray? Are you unwell?" Why? Because I was looking for a file on the screen. Is that what you're wondering about, or is there something wrong with your brain? You okay, Peggy? Are you, you know? Whew, wow. I don't know what you're talking about, Daphne. No idea. I don't know who that is or where they're at, or can't see them. Maybe I need to put it on live chat. Still don't see it. So, way up there. Someone had taken the photo of Abby on the bridge that Libby took before Richard Allen showed up. They enhanced it, and you could see him hiding. Yeah, it's bullshit, Lisa. Sorry for your ignorance. Complete garbage. Yeah. Hey, Lisa, it's complete garbage. There is nothing there. People from forever had been saying, "Oh, there's a shadow there. Look, there's a person there. There's a person there," and it just isn't the case. Okay. All right. So when they can sit there and say they enhanced it over and over and over again, but there's nothing. You can't see anybody in Abby's photograph. Hey, well, thanks, Troy Driver Reno. And thank you for Kirk on Buy Me a Coffee. Appreciate that. So is anybody going to call in? Hey, Lillian, why don't you call in? Okay. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on. These clowns always act like they got so much to say about the Delphi case. And whenever the rubber meets the road, though, they just don't show up. You know, they can't do it, and they know they can't do it, but it's just they're stuck. Oh, thanks, Mark, also on PayPal. Hello, who's this?
Well, who's this?
Oh, it's Lillian.
I listened. You just told me to call, so I figured, why not?
Yeah, why not?
But you know, Gray, that I'm not one of the ones that think Richard Allen is innocent. So, you know, I don't know what else to. But to Kayla, I commented. I said that she had text in the chat that since she saw your videos on the Idaho 4, that she's I don't know if she's a freak yet or not. Maybe she is. But I said your content and your videos are top notch always.
Well, thank you.
So if you want the facts and if you want good content and the videos are crazy good, this is definitely the place. So how was your holiday, Gray?
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, well, ours was okay too.
I mean, Christmas, it was pretty cool.
But I want to run.
It just kind of sucks. Well, just it was the first one without Blue running around for a while, so it kind of sucked.
Gray, I totally get it, Gray. I took Stevie to the vet the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for his wellness. Well, the vet called when I got home, and plus she told me at the vet that I think he might have a little murmur. And I said, what? Because, so anyway, we take such good care of him. So she said, I said, would you do a blood panel? She said, since he is a senior, he's 8. I can't even believe it. So she did the blood panel. She called the next day, spoke with Nancy and I, and said that his triglycerides were blow your hair back high. High. She said, Shirley, they were so high. She said, we have to check him next month. No table food, because he gets table food. And,
yeah, well, okay, but yeah, we'll start feeding him better, but let's go back to the...
No, great.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. What we feed him is vegetables. He gets ground beef that is vacuum sealed. It's grass fed, no antibiotics, no this, no that. He doesn't get junk. We cook his food and give him vegetables. But the problem is he begs it when we eat, and I give him something. He likes ice cream and all that
stuff. Right. Well, that's
so
the problem that they all have. And then it ruins that they ate good. It kind of happens to me too. It's like I have a great day. I eat all this good food, exercise. My wife comes home and goes, hey, Gray, I got this cake. And then I sit there and I could just wolf the entire cake down because it's so good. And then I'm like, God, why'd I do that? I just ruined the whole day. Let me start tomorrow again. Next day, hey, Gray, look, I got you some. Jesus. Yeah, give me a break.
And I told Nancy I was going to text you because, but you weren't on, because I was really, really upset. I couldn't even eat yesterday.
Yeah.
And so she said, if she hears that again, will you have to do a cardiogram? And then he's just not going to get anything from the table. And I'm going to call them Monday. I want to talk with one of the girls there.
Yeah.
But, my God, Gray.
Yeah, it sucks.
It was, I'm just concerned, So is Nancy.
Well, everything will be fine. Just don't give him any more of the ice cream and all that crap. Just the dog food. So there you go. But anyways, what do you got on this? Because I think people want to talk about. I know you didn't have anything to say.
On this case?
Well, I mean, all these people that just sit there and like it's still like this big movement of free Richard Allen. Like he's just, it's incredible.
Well, I figured that was going to happen. I mean, because Gray, in a way, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I blame the judge for all this nonsense. There was no transparency whatsoever. I mean, they went in there like it was when I was in school, 70, 60 some years ago, with a number 2 pencil and a notebook or whatever. She could have at least had a camera in there from the court, where she could have let people come in. I mean, it was.
Yeah, I mean, they should have had like another room that anybody who was there who wanted to watch could watch it, even if they're in a different room. But you had the same rules in that other room, like have another bailiff or somebody. But I mean, I don't know. Some of the other stuff, not being. I don't think you could. I think it's really just she was trying her best to protect the girls and the crime scene. Like when those crime scene photos were released, now those are out there forever. And she was trying to protect them and all of that.
Never saw them, and I don't think I'd want to, Craig.
But that's what it is. It's just, I think that's what she was doing, was trying to create here's what the reality is. Allowing Richard Allen to have the Odinist stuff is not a fair trial at all. And the reason it isn't is because things like that have the ability to interfere with the minds of rational-minded people and go, oh,
Right.
wow,
It grows legs.
I know, well, but they're the ones that grew the legs. You know, like they put out the Odin document. They put out the crime scene photos to try to match up with the Odin document. So they did all of that themselves. And so that's, it's not a fair trial to allow that in. That's the weird part is people always say, it's not fair because he wasn't able to put in this trickery. Well, it's not. It's completely antithetical to justice to allow somebody to put in stuff that has no connection at all. There's no nexus, as Holman said, from the Odinist people to the crime scene and the crime itself. Nothing. So when you put it in there, it's just tricking people. Like you bring in the psychologist. Oh, look at this, man. Could this be these horns from Odinist? Oh, it sure is an Odinist. Look at this.
Well, that was nuts.
Well, yeah, but they had all that. They had all that. Remember, they had the psychologist. I mean, not a psychologist, the Odin expert.
Yes, I do.
And then she wasn't allowed to testify because they weren't allowed to do the Odin stuff because it was bull crap.
Right. But Gray, we're going into 2025 now, and I mean, I think the integrity of the case could still be there with some kind of camera in the courtroom or better transparency, and that's what a lot of people were upset about. But,
I mean, I wish I could have watched it too.
Yeah, everybody does, Gray. I mean, we're at a time now where, my God, we're going 2025, and we're, I don't care if it's a rinky-dink little town like Delphi that only has like 20,000 people. People all over the world saw this case and knew about it because of Libby and Abby, but Libby taking that footage of Bridge Guy on the bridge, who was Richard Allen, it sucked everybody in because they're like, oh my God. And then when you heard guys down the hill, first it was down the hill, then a long time later, well, we're going to give you more audio, guys down the hill.
Right.
I'm like,
they could have released all of that.
Okay.
They could have released all of that.
But I mean, that kid to have the insight that something was seriously wrong, and she knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that, we probably wouldn't even be going. We wouldn't even have had a trial because they never would have known anything. And that woman who didn't accept the reward, who found that Richard Allen was interviewed.
Oh, Kathy
God
Shank?
bless her.
She didn't take the reward. I didn't know that she didn't.
That's what it said on the news. Huh. When I read the news, Nancy read it to me.
Wow.
She said she didn't take the.
Well, I don't think she should have. I actually don't think she should be able to take it. I mean, it'd be nice to give it to her, but she should. Anyway. Well, she shouldn't. I mean, she's working for them, and you would hope she was just doing what she's supposed to be doing, not like you get a reward because you know.
Right, but I don't know if somebody had mentioned she should get it, but she said no, she didn't deserve that, and that's a good thing. It just shows that there are, whether anybody thought she deserved it or not, she did the right thing, and it's just amazing that this trial's over. Well, this part of it, I'm sure they're going to have he's going to appeal this. He'll get a new jury, a new judge, and a new attorneys. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, he gets like the appeal attorneys. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, they're not the same.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what, doesn't that just make it? Isn't that just disgusting? Like you got these two just totally unethical attorneys who basically forced Richard Allen to go to trial because they wanted to become popular. And then he gets found guilty. Then they get the hell out of Dodge after just raking in the bucks from the government.
Yeah.
What a joke.
And that's what's sad.
Yeah.
That's what's sad, Greg.
It is. Richard, have you ever?
Because you know
I
what?
don't think there's anybody
thought
out there. I don't think there's anybody out there that's seen somebody can try to get try to get people to believe him that he committed a crime more than Richard Allen did, and nobody would have it. He just wanted somebody to love him, regardless if he told them the truth or not. Anyways, go ahead.
I thought for sure he would have stood up. Maybe I was kind of hoping Richard Allen and just say, "Look, I did it. I'm of sound mind. I did it, and let's not even go to trial." I thought maybe he would have done that, but no, they just wanted to make a big production, and it was sad because those families had to sit through all that and seeing all that horrible things that were done to those two little girls. I'll never forget it as long as I live. And I don't know. I just thought they'd be a little more above board. It's one thing to be a defense attorney, and yes, you have to take these people on as a defense attorney. I get it. But for God's sake, have some kind of class about yourself. I mean, look how the pictures were left. And then I forget his name, but somebody wound up killing himself. I mean, this was nasty all the way around, Gray. All the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that town will ever be the same, ever.
Yeah, probably not. I hope they release I want to see I don't know if that one video will ever be released. I hope it is someday. Because it seems like it should be able to be released. The video of
what one?
The one where Libby's video, but I also want all of the interrogation videos. But I don't think any of the transcripts for the trial and those videos will not be released until after an appeal has been ruled upon. Now, because if they say, hey, we're granting you an appeal, then they're not, they don't want those already out there. They want to have them fresh again.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm still waiting for, Gray? I'm still waiting for, what's his name in jail? Big boy, I forget his name, Keegan Klein. I'm still waiting for Richard Allen to say, you know what? I'm not taking this on myself and get 130 years. Mm-hmm. I'm saying something and opening my mouth because Nancy swears there's some kind of
we all say when you say Nancy swears. I mean, she doesn't know any more than all of us, right? Like we all say the same thing.
Right. Well, you and I have.
Yeah.
You and I always have.
We all think that there is wow, what are the odds that there isn't a connection between Keegan Klein and Richard Allen?
You and I always said that, and I still because let's face it. Now that Richard Allen knows he's got, if he doesn't win on appeal, he's going to die there. So maybe he'll open his mouth. I don't know. I would hope so, but
I mean, Nancy's
I just
always
feel
been
bad for the family. The families.
She just thinks like we do, like Nancy. But I don't know. I just think, well, earlier this evening on Hidden True Crime, she actually interviewed Holman for like an hour and something, and he
did she?
That was actually asked.
That another who is
it's
that?
It's just a YouTube channel. Crime. Well, it was the one during the YouTube channel. Anyways, what he was saying was about at the end about he talked about the possibility of Keegan Klein and Richard Allen.
Oh, really? I'll have to look it up. What's it called again? Hidden True Crime?
Well, don't you remember during the trial, the one that would do all the reporting of the...
yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she was there in the courtroom, so took good notes, great notes. But
I remember you saying that. She did.
Yeah,
she really did.
But apparently, he said I can interview him because I was gonna wait until after the New Year's, give them all a break, Right. But, he said,
"Are you going to?"
Yeah, I'm gonna interview him. He said,
"Oh, that would be great."
He said, "Sure."
That would be really good. Mm-hmm. So I guess Carter, is he going to retire now?
I thought he already kind of was retired, but then just kind of came out.
Did he?
With the
Okay, he might have.
dressed up like that.
I wasn't sure. I knew he said he was gonna wait.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
Anyway, you look cute in your hat, Gray.
There it is.
Little.
Everybody get
little,
it. The beanie.
We have you on the TV with your little pom pom on the top.
Say hello to Nancy in the background over there.
Nance, what do you think of it?
Oh, he's just an adorable curmudgeon now.
Oh, you're an adorable curmudgeon now.
I got
she said.
Through the holidays.
Look what he's doing.
You guys are crazy people.
Oh my God. Well, you made us laugh a little bit.
There you go.
So, Gray, they can give a dog medicine for stuff like that, right? That's what they said.
Yeah. Just quit giving him.
Okay.
Just quit doing the ice cream and the extra stuff off of your plate. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Just screw it.
And Gray, I don't give him anything but vegetables.
No, but you just admitted you give him ice cream.
Well, yeah.
Right.
If I have ice cream, he sits in front of me and whimpers.
Well, that's
and
too
I
bad.
give him a little bit on my finger. I'm not doing it. Well, we're not doing it.
Okay.
We're not doing it. It's
I think neither one of you are being honest. I think in the back, when nobody's around, you look both ways, and then you hand him something. Come on.
You know what, Gray? You know what I did? He loves peanut butter. And you know what? I went out there and had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and stayed in the kitchen. I wouldn't come in because I didn't want him bugging. Yeah. And I did the same thing last night. Gray, I'm like you. Look, I thought of Blue right off the bat. And neither one of us are giving him anything because we thought we were doing so good by him. And, he lost 2 pounds, but the triglycerides are over the roof.
Nah.
And we got to get them down.
Get them down and don't let them eat the extra food and keep me updated.
Yes, right. I definitely will. So listen to all the freaks out there that's on tonight. I just love you guys. You are very sweet people. And Gray, you tell Chris that I said I hope I didn't see your house decorated. She did decorate it. I must not have been on if you showed it.
I just showed it once or twice.
Yeah, but that wasn't Christmas.
Yes.
Was it? Oh,
yeah, she didn't put as many as she normally does, but it still had a lot. But anyways, all right.
So I want to thank all you freaks for being so kind, and I'll talk to you before the new year. So Gray, you take it easy. I know your heart's still broken, and I get it. Believe me, we get it. So I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Well, have a good New Year's. See you later. Have a good one.
You too. We'll talk.
All right. All right.
She's nuts over Clancy.
All right. Yeah, he's pretty cute.
They're adorable.
He's all over the place. All right. Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Yeah. All right, you guys, we're getting crushed here tonight. We got to get to our goal. We haven't even really changed at all in the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, I'd appreciate it. We've got stuff to do at the end of the month here. All right. This is the time of the month that actually makes a difference in terms of what we can do. All right, so if you have the ability to, I'd appreciate it. We also only have 1 new channel member, so if there's anybody out there that wants to gift some channel memberships to people, that would be cool. But we're just kind of stuck at less than 1/3 of a nightly goal, you guys. I'm just getting creamed. Hey, thanks, Kathy Freidenmaker. There we go. Thank you. Oh, wait, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, we got Mountain Man on here.
How you doing, Mr. Hughes?
What's going on?
Not much. I figured I'd join the chat. I can see the chats now when I do it this way. I can see when
Yeah.
people make comments in the chats. I put in the chats earlier. Did you see that guy? His name is Vinny Politan or Politan, I
Yeah.
think, with Court TV.
Yeah.
And they had a video that said, an expert on this Delphi.
The PI lady.
Yeah, it was the most ridiculous.
Yeah, we went over that the other night. It's just
Did you play it?
I think I did. Yeah, I did play it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And she was talking about an Odinist that got shot or something.
And that the drug spatter guy was in her house alone the day before. The day before he testified or something.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And I'm looking through some of the chats now because, yeah, it would be nice to get some of these people that are standing up. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Hi, everybody. Don't
follow the chat yourself when you're in here. I'd rather have you just talk. I mean, I know you like to read the chat and everything, but I don't want you replying to the chat.
Okay.
You just talk, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, I would like to hear, just like you're saying, these people who are always sticking up for Richard Allen, come in and tell us why. I mean, the first question they would need to answer is, there's no other male identified, admitted, and videotaped on that bridge but Richard Allen.
Yeah,
he was the bridge guy.
Yeah, he'll claim it's not him, but I think he knew it was him. That's why when they said, "Is this you?" and he goes, "Well, it's not me if the girl took that." Well, that means that means even in your own mind, it looks just like you. But I can't say it's me, because if I say it's me and that girl took the picture, then I'll be guilty. Yeah.
Well, everybody that was on the bridge at that time has been identified and interviewed. Mm-hmm. And he was the only male. And he has the same clothes as what the guy in the picture was wearing.
Yeah, well, there was actually no other male around during that entire time, but until he, after he went down the hill and took the girls across, then other people started showing up. He's the only person. Yeah.
Right. So that's their first hurdle to get over is how can you deny that he's not bridge guy?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's kind of what all of my videos were about for the last year and a half, was that Richard Allen. I even made a video over a year ago that said Richard Allen is bridge guy. Because it's there's no escaping that he's bridge guy. Now, if you want to say that he didn't kill them, great, but he's the one that kidnapped them, so at least he's part of the felony murder portion. Now, if you want to say there's somebody else, well, hopefully Richard Allen comes forward and mentions the other people that were there. And if Richard Allen admits that he's an Odinist, well, shit, then I'd give some credibility to maybe there was an Odinist situation going on. But, they want to eliminate Richard Allen from the equation, which is just insane, pure insanity to me.
Well, that's where are they? You give an open invitation for them to come up and lay out something, and you never hear anything. Now, I did see some comments. I'm not talking to anybody in the chats, but you have questions like, did anybody have a clear picture of him? It's clear enough to me.
The thing is, it's him, so I've done this,
Yeah.
It sounded just like him. He said he was there. He was standing exactly where he said he was standing, and then Abby and Libby would have then had to have run into Richard Allen, but he said he never saw them. All right, and the reason he's saying he never saw them is because he was with them and he killed them.
Yeah, he's trying to deflect, and act like he had nothing to do with it. Oh, I didn't see him. So when you look at him, him walking on the bridge, that is a person of short stature, somewhat stocky, dumpy, however you want to put it. And it's patently obvious So where are all these passionate people? You know, my first memory, I have never heard of an organized group of any consequences called the Odinists until this case. I have never heard of it.
Right. Well, the thing is, what Richard Allen, like I always say to everybody, is Richard Allen answered all the questions that law enforcement had. He's the person that everybody that said they saw somebody on the trail, he is that person. The 3 girls, he's that person. He admits it.
Yeah.
Betsy's there. He doesn't admit to seeing her, but he's standing on platform 1 exactly where he said he was standing when Betsy Blair got there.
Right.
And he admits to that. He just doesn't say that he saw Betsy Blair. And then when he's asked, is that you in the video? He said, well, it's not me if one of the girls took that picture.
Yeah.
Right? And then he confessed saying that he ejected a bullet, took the girls down the hill, was going to assault them down there. Then not a white van, but a van drove by and it scared him. So he took the girls across the creek, and then he killed him. He wanted to make sure that they didn't suffer, and he killed them because he was being selfish, and he covered them with sticks, and then he left not on the trails. I mean, he said all of these things, and to me, it's like, how do you guys here's what the deal is. I don't know if anybody listens to these people on their own channel, but they say stuff that's just absolutely false to their viewers.
Demonstrably false.
Right, like totally false, and they all believe it, and they're all like, yeah, ooh. Like one of them said the other day that Westerman, the guy that leaked the photographs, did it. Law enforcement made him leak those photos. And it's like, what are you talking about? He admitted he went in there into the office, and the defense team admits that they're the ones that, are responsible for leaking it. They wouldn't even admit that if it was, see, these people are just, it's, they went out something more scary are all the lemmings that sit there and watch. And
the attorneys, the defense attorneys in this situation, have a responsibility and they're culpable for a lot of this, I'll say crap going around. And, the first time we saw this kind of back alley lawyering is what I call it, where they in effect tamper with the jury or try to sway public opinion or get a name for themselves, was with the OJ case. And all this crap coming out about a Colombian necktie, possible ties to drug dealers that did it instead of OJ, and every fantastic thing you could think of. And that was, I think, as far as our country goes, the first notorious case and famous case where we saw abuse of a legal system by attorneys that is supposed to jealously defend their client. Yeah. But with what happened with this Richard Allen case, those attorneys should be ashamed of themselves. And it culminating in the release of those photos and what a guy committed side over it. We've got to tighten things up with the Bar Association, with ethics, complaints. People need to be accountable when they do this type of stuff. Because why should you, me, or anybody else that is talking about reality, and reality equals justice, be excoriated on YouTube? I've seen where you have these strange people making videos about you, or like you said before, you even had people come by your house, and you deal with this animus and vitriol from people that have been knocked off center of reality by attorneys that should damn well know better. than to propagate this kind of crap. And like you said, there was no basis in law for any of it coming in about this. I saw the picture of the tree where they said there was an F on the tree. You would have to be somebody looking at a Rorschach test, and the psychiatrists think you're out of your mind to see an F in that spatter on the tree.
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of made it look like an F. It was missing a thing in the. Like, I never thought it was an F, but I can see what people might have thought it was an F. But the part it's not even connecting the middle portion. Like Zozo always says, she can't unsee the F because she saw it the first time. So then after you see it, it's maybe hard to not unsee it, but I never saw the F. I just see a vertical line and at the top some other kind of line, and then there's just nothing to me. It's just splatter. And that's what he said, actually, when on that interview today. He said it was just blood spatter. There was never an F, or nobody intentionally drew something like that.
Right, but they put it out there, and they put these drawings out there. As far as I'm concerned, it could be a stretch to say this, but when you put out these drawings that are not representative of reality and say, here's what we saw, and draw an F and put it out to the public before juries even been picked, and you're an attorney, that's outrageous. And then you have to deal with these unbalanced individuals or people who have been influenced by. People get law degrees. It gives them a measure of public trust and authority. And for them to abuse that public trust and authority, I can go into other cases that are ongoing right now and cases that have been dismissed and in the past with the same thing. And it's not just defense attorneys, it's prosecutors. And when people do this kind of grandstanding, and I was going to say that they're knocking on the door of tampering with evidence when they draw the F on there that nobody else sees and put it out to the public as if it's factual, using their position of public trust. That should be punished.
This is an F, and these Odinists were in there, and they were definitely looked like, and the thing is, they had these when you ask like an Odin expert, they're going to go, oh yeah, it does look like that, because they just want it to be that.
Sure. And if they just said Bigfoot, they got Bigfoot experts up there looking for a paycheck and looking for clicks, looking for attention. It's the same thing. You got people swear up and down Bigfoot exists. If they'd come up with, here's an image we took in the leaves that looked like a size 18 foot. We think it was Bigfoot. Next thing you know, Bigfoot did it. And then Bigfoot stories going all. I know I'm going a little overboard with that, but that's the way some people do.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Gray, when you're finished with me, let me know. You won't hurt my feelings. I don't want to take up your whole program.
Yeah, I just want to see if we can free up time for other people to actually do what the show's about. But go ahead, just do what you.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I was going to get into some things. I've got a little background in psychology, and people have patterns of thinking. And I was going to get into some of your critics, what I noticed about the channels, their behaviors, and things like that tie back to a pattern. But that's for another time. That's for another time. The thing that I want to state publicly is that on both sides, prosecutions, attorneys who really, have a should have a very high standard and be judicious with their image of public trust, what the authority and the dignity that comes with their office, to do the same thing, to overly exaggerate, exclude evidence. They call it violating the Brady rule, which is ridiculous. It's tampering with evidence. It's framing people. All these things need to be looked at, defense and prosecution, because we have gone in the last 2 decades into behaviors by members of the bar that is outrageous, and we need to define it and address it, because these abuses of the justice system are only going to get worse. But one thing's for sure: if it doesn't get worse, we can't keep going with it at its current level. So never mind it getting worse; it's got to get better. And people that abuse their position of public trust should be disciplined.
Yep, I agree.
So let some other caller come in. I appreciate it. I thank everybody in the chats, and I hope you all had a great Christmas. You too, Gray, and I hope you all have a wonderful New Year.
You too. Thanks for calling
And
in.
don't forget to support Gray Hughes Investigates. Go to Buy Me a Coffee and pour him a nice hot cup, or even buy him a whole pot.
There you go. That'd be great. That'd be great. Hey, thanks. Have a good one.
Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, you guys, what's going on tonight? It's just, anyways, I agree with also you got these defense attorneys out there that I think they're shameful, like Burkhart's, Mata, all those guys. I mean, just stuff that they're doing. They're making it seem like what the defense team did was so amazing. Oh, it was the greatest document in the world. It went out there and it put their case out there, because the prosecution can always put their case out in the probable cause document, but they did it in reverse, and it was all bullshit. Okay, you guys get it? Like what they put out there? Yeah, I mean, it was in reports, some of that stuff from Todd Click, Ferenczi, and the other guy, but who cares? You know, it turns out that none of that stuff panned out. Okay, and so they got all their theories and so forth from other YouTubers, I guarantee it. And they're like, oh no, hey, we're just one guy. And they just went on and on and on and on and on. It's unbelievable. Some of these defense attorneys that you see online, they sort of get this credibility for no reason. Okay. Defense attorneys often are not the most ethical people in the world. Okay, let's be honest. All right, they go out and they try to do the most ridiculous things to get their clients off. And I guess they're supposed to try to do that, but why are you listening to them for reasonable, rational thoughts on a case? Well, it seems like people are listening to them to sort of help support their narrative, especially on this case. Every single one of the defense attorneys that were covering this case were on Richard Allen's side. Pretty sick. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn, Harry and the Hendersons. That Bigfoot loves chocolate shakes. Yeah. But hey, you guys, we're currently only at 40%. So what do I need to do? How do we get this the night going where we can try to reach the goal? We're only got 3 days left to the end of the month. How do we do it? Yeah, I would want, like, Baez is somebody I wouldn't mind to have as an attorney if I was in the same situation. I mean, see that, but that's when you're not thinking rationally. You're thinking, how can I get myself off from doing this crime? So that's the thing, is these people out there trying to figure out how they can get Richard Allen off of committing the crime. That's what they're doing. I can't imagine that all these people actually believe that Richard Allen is not the killer, every one of them. Yeah, and the thing is, I've covered cases where I thought something, and then when new information came in, I completely switched what I was thinking. You know, and that's how you should do it. If there's something in there that refutes what you're thinking, then you got to go that direction. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. I guess my picture isn't working. Will this work? Hey, there we go. Hey, look. There's Clancy and Benny. You guys are crazy tonight. Oh yeah, let me turn that sucker off. Forgot about that. Not sure why that was even on. Can't stand the live reactions. There's two of them there. Clancy, though, when you put him out, he walks right over to something and tries to pee. At first, he was peeing on pads, but now he's trying to, like, mark stuff. Thanks, Allie Cake. Trying for a wave in here. Man, you guys. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Joe.
Just Joe? You just randomly happen to be Joe? Just you delayed when you said your name. You kind of the pause. You went, my name is Joe. Like that.
Well, on the screen name, I'm Lower Customs, but but I prefer just to go by Joe. That's my name.
Okay. So what's going on? What do you got?
Well, I just have a few questions, man. I mean, I really didn't cover this case. I mean, I'm here from Indiana, so I knew about it.
What do you mean by cover it?
Never really follow it.
What do you mean follow it? You mean follow it?
Yeah, I didn't really follow it. I mean, I'm like everybody else. You would think that the cops did their jobs, but from what I heard in the court, I mean, I really don't think they did, man.
Wait, were you at the court?
I knew some people at the court, yeah.
Okay, so the people you heard in the court though were probably pro Richard Allen people, right? The ones that you talked to about it.
No, I mean they're kind of in the middle. They're kind of like me, They don't know whether.
Well, but the thing is, how do you not see? My thing is what they put in court was even way more damning, making him bridge guy than I even had it from the probable cause document, which made it already.
Well, from the probable cause documents, they really didn't have any.
No, they did. The probable cause document locked him in as bridge guy already. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The trial just made it worse.
How are you going to say that he's bridge guy when he's the size of an ant on a video?
No, he's not the size of an ant on a video. Yeah.
Sure he is.
Yeah, he's not as big as what you got. The original video, he's definitely smaller in the background. They had to zoom in. I've been showing that for years. I have samples of other people.
Showing the original video.
No, I never even got done with the sentence, and you interrupted, being an ass. Okay, what I said was, when I did the, I've shown on my screen other people who we filmed from the end of the bridge, off the end of the bridge, filming it out, and a person walking, and then I would zoom in, showing this is what it actually looks like. It's really small in the background using the Bonnie Raitt video. And then I zoom in, and then that's why it's kind of blurry, because you're getting a
but you don't know exactly where he was on the
video. I do know where he was.
Nobody has seen the original.
Well, I do know where he was on the video. I can see just on the thing. He's about 57 or 8 feet. He's actually past platform 6 in that video. Yeah, I can tell. But what's that?
I mean, even if that was him on the bridge, I don't know if he was or not, but even if it was, it's not a crime to be on a bridge.
Yeah, except the timing is that but it's still him coming towards the girls, and he says, "Guys," and then has them go down the hill, and he pulls out a gun.
No, you cannot see who says that.
Okay, but okay, so it's his buddy then. So he at least he's one of the people who kidnapped him.
Because the cops in court. That's what I'm saying,
right,
man.
Well, law enforcement's already said that there's only one voice. Law enforcement has already said there's only one voice, and it's that person that you're seeing on the bridge. It's that person's voice. They've said that.
So then there's 2 people there.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I said there aren't 2 people. It's one person. That is the person in the video is the same one who's speaking, and the person who said guys and down the hill is the same person. Yeah.
But the guy in the video, the original video, there is no way that is his voice. He is too far away.
I know that because that's not when he said that. See, the video is that's the only frames that they have. Okay, let me finish my sentence. Let me finish the 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 sentence. The video that was that you're seeing in court is he's walking 50 something feet away, and it's only a 43-second video. And when he comes closer to the camera, that's not filming his face anymore, but that's when he said, "Guys, down the hill." It's not connected to the.
But how is he going from 50 to 75 feet away to where you can hear him on the video? That's impossible.
I just explained it to you. You didn't listen. He was 58 feet away about when those 2 seconds of video that were released, because that's the clearest portion of the video.
That's at the end of the 43-second video.
No, it's near the end. It's 43 seconds, but it's not he says down the hill near the end. Okay. So when you hear the guys down the hill, he says when he says guys down the hill near the end of the video, right? But when you're seeing him 50 something feet away, it's about 7 or 8 seconds before he says guys down the hill. So it's 43 seconds.
You're not going to cover that distance on that bridge.
Yeah, you can. I know somebody that walked across the entire bridge in 3 minutes. That was only 58 feet. I'm sure that only took like 8, 9, 10 seconds maximum to walk from that sixth platform to the end of the bridge. Well, then you're scared or can't do it the way. I have a female friend that did it. So you're saying you couldn't do it? She actually timed it.
I'm telling you that there's no way. You're going to have to pay attention to where you're walking.
Yeah, but if you're a confident person, you can walk right across the bridge and walk quickly.
He's not a confident person.
Well, he was. Didn't you see how quickly he was moving? He knew he'd been there multiple times.
No, I couldn't.
Well, Richard Allen Allen said himself that he had been there multiple times. And he even walked his daughter across the bridge. His daughter said that.
Okay, and my main thing about what came out of court was who's the male and female unified DNA that was found on the girls' private areas.
Well, but it was just this really. Well, they don't know because it was such a minor amount. Like you get that just throwing clothes in the same wash with guys. You know.
No.
That's what they said.
No, this is unidentified DNA. This is not just something.
Right. It's unidentified. They can't identify it because there isn't enough of it. You know.
There is enough of it. They don't have anybody to match it to. That's exactly what came out in court.
Okay, yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with you.
There was an unknown male DNA and an unknown female DNA on the girls' private areas, on both of them.
Yeah, on the underwear.
Both the girls.
Yeah, yeah, like probably wearing underwear and got down, in that same location. Get it from the house.
Or
so this is what yeah, okay, yeah. See, you're just one of the typical people that try to muck up thing with the DNA. Oh, there's no DNA. Ooh. But none of the other stuff matters to you. The fact that he said he was there, right? Like, do you care about that part that he said he was there?
There was lots of people there.
No, he actually said he was there and he passed the 3 girls. You admit to that, right? That he passed the same. There was 4 girls. He saw 3 of them, right?
Yeah,
you admit to that, right?
Also 3 girls at 1:00 in the afternoon that he said that he passed.
No, it wasn't. It was 1:30. So you got all this stuff wrong. He said he got there at 12 and he left at 1:30. In his second story, the first story he told to Dan Doolin years ago was he got there at 1:30 and he was there from 1:30 to 3:30. That's what he said. And the evidence proves. The evidence proves. Well, no, but I do.
I do know that there was
the evidence proves that he got there at 1:30 because there is his vehicle drives by the Hoosier Hardware store, one matching his description with the same rims at 1:27. He said he parked his car, then he walked out, and he went to the Freedom Bridge, and then he went to the Freedom Bridge, and when he got to the Freedom Bridge, he passed 3 girls. So that would have been about 1:35, and that's exactly the time frame that those 3 girls would have, or the 4 girls, but he saw 3, that they'd be walking out. So they passed him, and that is him. Then he said he walked to the Monenhigh Bridge, which takes about 11 minutes. And he would have got to the Monenhigh Bridge at 1:44. Well, then Betsy Blair pulls up at 1:46, passing the Hoosier Harvest Store, gets out probably 1:47, and then she walks to the bridge, and he's standing. And when he drives to the bridge, when she walks to the bridge, he's standing on platform 1, exactly the same platform he said he was standing on. And she even described the clothing he was wearing similar to what Richard Allen said he was wearing. She just had a little bit different description because he was 111 feet, not 50 feet. She said he had like brown poofy hair, but he had a brown poofy hat on instead.
None of the descriptions that was said in court matches him.
Yeah, sure. Well, they're consistent with him. Like one said blue jeans, a blue jacket. The other said all black. You know, because that was in that shaded area, just as you're at.
Hair and young and muscular and tall.
They didn't all say. They didn't all say that. They didn't all say that. That was Betsy Blair said it.
They did.
But Betsy Blair she said she was 50 feet away, but she was 111 feet, based on her turning around at the barricades, not the bridge itself. Right at the start of the bridge is 50 feet from platform 1. The barricade's 111 feet. So she probably just didn't get a very good description, but she did say that the person she saw was the same person in Libby's video. Did you get that part?
But like I said, she also said that he was young and handsome. Well, Richard Allen is not young and handsome. He's not tall. He's not muscular.
And that's where we get into the issue where that's what always happens when you have witnesses who aren't told to remember something, and they just kind of remember something, and then later that's what their imagination says.
The descriptions that they gave to the cops that the cops wrote down.
Right. I'm just saying. But then when they were asked, but when she was shown the picture of the bridge guy, she said, "Yeah, that's the person I saw," and then she admits that she just, that's
she didn't say that Richard Allen was the man he saw in.
No, she said that the person she said. I didn't say that either just now. What made your brain think that I just said that? I said that the person.
Because
she saw.
Said that she
I said the person. She said the person.
She did not identify.
Well, your brain's not working correctly because that's not what I said. I said the person that when she was shown a picture of the bridge guy, she said that that's the person she saw. Okay, so that person in the video was wearing exactly the same clothing that Richard Allen said he was wearing, and is consistent with Richard Allen's.
Do you live in Indiana?
No, I do not.
You live in Indiana in February.
You're not going to bring up that there's so many different people that wear the same clothing, right? That were there at 1:30 to 3.
Jeans. I have a car.
Right, but how many people were there from 1:30 to 3:30 that day and never came forward? So he's the only one. There was only one man. There was only one male seen during that 1:30 to 3:30 time frame, or 1:30 to 2 even.
Yeah,
that anybody saw, and
of him
there's only one person.
That doesn't match Richard Allen now, do they? They have actual drawings of who was on the bridge, and that does not match
those are sketches. Sketches aren't accurate, and we all know that. Every one of them. How about this? When everybody was asked, when they were shown the picture of the bridge guy, the still frame from the video, they all said, "Yep, that's the person we saw." All right. And Richard Allen is that person. He admitted being the person himself, and he placed himself as being that person.
To being bridge guy.
Well, no, he does though. He admits to being him based on the information he's provided.
Being at the trails, yeah.
No, he admits to but he admits to being that guy given the information he's provided. Like he was standing on platform 1, and that's exactly where Betsy Blair saw him standing.
Did you see what was presented in court? He does not tell the detectives in his interview.
No, he only said this. He only said this. "Hey, is this you, Richard Allen?" "No, if the girl took that picture, it's not me." Doesn't that sound suspicious to you? Like,
no, it doesn't.
Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't to you. Okay. But that's suspicious to any rational-minded person that would say.
Because I've had my dealings with prisoners and prisons because I worked at IDOC.
No, what I'm saying is you don't think it would be suspicious that he said, "Well, that's not me if the girl took the picture. Wouldn't you just say, no, that's not me? That's not me because it's, you know, I don't wear that clothing. It doesn't look like me. But it must have looked just like himself for him to say, well, by God, that looks just like me. But if the girl took the picture, it's not.
If the cops asked me about it, I'd be like, well, I have those same type of clothes. I was on the bridge, but I never seen those girls.
Right. He didn't say that though.
That's how I would have.
You know what I know. You know what's weird? That would be a better answer. His was, well, it's not me if the girl took the picture. Meaning, yes, it's me, okay, but if the girl took it,
you have a cop up in your face screaming at you.
Telling
you that you were the fucking killer.
No. He just said it. He goes, well, that wasn't Holman's interview though. That was the first one with, I think, Liggett and Mullen maybe. That was the first interview. He said, "Is this you? We just want to know, is this you?" And he goes, "No. If the girl took that picture, it's not me." I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, who in the hell ever answers a question like that?
Well, apparently he did. But that still does not prove that he killed those girls. I want to know who DNA is on those girls' private parts.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's your killer.
I guess they'll just, well, no. Richard Allen is at the crime scene.
You do not want to believe it. I understand that. And I cannot tell you Richard Allen.
But they explained it in court that it was just like you could get that from intermingling clothing at the house is what they explained in court. Do you remember that part?
No.
Okay, you must have missed that.
Wrong.
You must have missed that. Okay.
It was seminal.
Oh no, that was not true right there. What you just said.
Yes,
somebody said that, and they use that as a
go back and listen to the trial.
It's not true. It's not true.
No, that is true.
I've seen that segment. It was something about somebody said like it could be this or it could be that, and then people go, "I was looking at semen." You know, and everybody assumed that's what it was.
They clearly stated it was seminal, but they did not know whose it was.
Yeah, no way.
They said it in trial.
That was never said. No chance.
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, you're wrong. Okay, I remember going over that specific element. The specific element, and it does not say that.
If you do not want to get the truth, that's fine. I mean, I know you made a lot of money off of this, and that's cool.
All right, here we go. There's where the troll ends right there. All right, gotta go. That's the same one that calls in every time with the same nonsensical, circular argument that never goes anywhere. And then you start talking about, and by the way, you know, tonight we're getting crushed in here. So yes, we do need to, well, it doesn't matter, guys. If you guys can help support the channel, that'd be great. If you can't, you can't. But I don't know what makes this night any different than another night. Let's see. And we've got no more new coffees, and we've got no new channel members. All right, we've just got the one from earlier. So is there anybody out there that can gift some channel memberships? Something. Yeah, that was. It's always such a waste of time. Clancy's the one with the smooth hair, and Benny is the long-haired. And you're wrong, Karen. It didn't help out at all. Yeah. So, going to get it off that screen. Didn't help at all, Karen. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I can't stand people like that when they just keep trying to talk over you when you're putting your point out. I don't let it happen. I just keep going. I'm talking. You know, because you're actually giving your point. He just won't care about it, Drizzport. It wouldn't matter to him. He just has that whole thing about seminal fluid was not something that was said at trial. And don't you think, you guys, honestly, Just think about it like this logically. If at trial they said seminal fluid was found on the girls' private parts, you don't think that'd be the headline on every single place, like Daily Mail or something? All right, who's this? L.
Hi, Gray.
Oh, hey, what's up?
I just had to call in after that last caller.
Yeah.
And I love Clancy and Benny. So you decided on those names?
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
they stuck.
Pretty cute.
But that's what they originally came with, right? Because then you kind of...
Yeah, I was going to maybe change it, but then, when you look at them, you kind of go, that does look like a Benny, and that does look like a Clancy. It's like, okay, we'll just keep it.
All right. I'm new to Chihuahua life, and I have an overweight one that needs to be on a workout plan, apparently. And so if you hear her snorting in the background, that's her breathing. But I sat in the, as I was in the trial many days, this whole seminal fluid thing, the DNA thing, I don't know where people are getting that, because you're right, that would be like number one on Daily Mail. Like, yeah,
Daily Mail would have made it into this huge thing. Oh my God. Ooh. And it would have been everywhere. It would have been all over the place. Unidentified seminal, it was unidentified DNA. I saw that was found somewhere, but it wasn't seminal fluid.
Even seminal fluid, even to be as far as, well, I think there's like the difference of touch DNA. It's like, okay, how many people can, I don't know. And if you're doing laundry, you do laundry and there's a man who has the clothes in the laundry. Like how far does this go? So maybe there was a tiny thing where they said a touch DNA. I don't know, but it's not as extreme as they said. I've even heard somebody say, well, it was a seminal fluid, but the Y chromosome was missing. I'm like, that's insane. So what does that mean? I don't know. Can't even go there. But also, sorry, what was the topic?
Well, here's what it says actually online. It says, according to information from the Delphi murder trial, while some male DNA was found on swabs taken from Abby and Libby, the amount was very small and not enough definitively linked to a suspect. So that's exactly what I heard. And the thing is it doesn't say anything about seminal. If it was that, it would be a big deal, I think. I mean, it'd be huge. Like, oh my God, but it isn't the case.
The defense would have already used that. Just like they used the hair that was wrapped around, apparently wrapped around Abby's finger, and she clutched onto it all the way across. Like, she grabbed it out of the perpetrator and clutched onto it all the way across the creek. It's like, that's not how it was, people. But they continue to say that was the case.
Yeah. I don't know. It just gets so frustrating after a while. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. Like these people, what is it? Michelle After Dark and stuff. What embarrassing people. They used to try to at least pretend that they were, covering cases with a rational mind, but they've lost all that. Nothing. It's just gone.
So there is an interesting question. What about some of them that were in the middle and have just gone silent for like 2 months?
What do you mean?
So let's say some YouTubers that were really like falling for one side, and then clearly this is how it played out, and they have just been silent. So they haven't posted. They've gone away. What do you think about some of them?
I don't know any of those. I mean, were they bigger YouTubers or just these small dinky ones that show up all the time?
Some smaller dinky ones trying to make a name.
Oh, yeah. I don't care then. Yeah, those are just ones that they're playing off of the everybody wants Richard Allen to be innocent crowd, but really didn't believe it themselves, and they were just trying to kind of capitalize, get some subs out of it, and then at the very end they just go, okay, screw it,
So they're gonna come back, but they just went like silent. Like, did they? for like a month or two. So they didn't have to answer to all these people.
Well, it's not even been a month.
True. Well, since the
1 month, I think. 1 month. Wasn't it? Wasn't it like, when was the sentencing? Man, maybe it is. I can't remember now. Not the sentencing. Sentencing was the 20th, but when was the verdict? Like October, or was it November 14th?
Let's just get through 20, like make 20 the year of 2024. Let's just make that a wash. It just went by so fast. It was a crazy year, so everything blended together. But you're right. So the trial it ended sooner than a lot of people thought. So it was maybe like November 15th, but they gave it a full month and it didn't go that long. But then, so you think it's over, but then we knew that the sentencing was the 20th, and that was a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you like knew Lauren when you were there, or not Lauren, Susan, right? When you were there? Okay.
Yep. Just from following you and kind of being in Indiana and then connecting with her. And so she's, and also like learning about you on the CW first.
Oh, the CW. See, I was the only one on CW that got it right.
I know.
Isn't that amazing?
Well,
I mean, when I actually was on there I told Holman, I go, I'm going to be on this thing. I'm going to be on CW, the documentary. And then when it was over, he couldn't see it yet. And he was like, oh, there you are. And then he was watching. And then he said, at the end, he says, you nailed it. Because if you watch the documentary, what I said in the documentary was basically the entire, Richard Allen is bridge guy theory. Like exactly the same thing that even at the trial, they were saying. See, Gray, he's working for them. No, I have a brain, you guys. I actually was able to take the probable cause document and turn it in. When you look at it on a map or in a 3D world, like moving around parts, it absolutely shows that Richard Allen is bridge guy.
Well, I heard some rumblings underground about that whole thing, that like some people that were asked to be on it, like they were all excited about it, but it was actually kind of to talk about Bullhorn Betty or kind of mock some of the people before. So I thought it was pretty great that at the end you come on and just bring sense to the whole thing.
I felt pretty good about it. I mean, it was supposed to be about like the infighting and different elements, things like that. But I don't know.
That's why that is like an honor that you were like at the end, like here's the voice of reason.
I did feel pretty good about being on there for that, and I felt good about being on Court TV as the verdicts and I got to be on there for like 2 hours. That was pretty cool. When they were doing the verdict, I was on their show as part of the verdict watch, and again, out of all the people on the panel, I was the only one that got it right. And I was the only person to, at the very end, I said, they kept coming up with all these words, like describe one word. And I was the only one that said justice, like the rest of them thought it was something else. Pretty weird.
Who else was on that panel? Court TV.
Well, Susan showed up at the end, but prior to that, it was like one of the other Court TV people, this one lady who's like I don't know if she's a defense attorney or she's African American. I can't remember exactly what her name was. And then I think wasn't Mata on there?
Oh,
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
You have to go back and watch. But
all right, I have to vouch for this one podcast because it's the Viper Pit or whatever. So they are calling out Mata, and it's too funny. It's too hilarious.
Yeah, well, I've watched Mata lately. I'm trying to picture, because he was just on Court TV with that same PI lady, And she's like, back me up, Bob. You know, and he's like, he didn't really back her up. He just said, yeah, part of what you said was true, but he didn't word it that way. He didn't back her up on the key point of what she was trying to say.
And also, well, her key point here is about the whole reason or the whole scenario incident where Ferenczi died, and that's terrible. But she got the dates wrong, and then she got the city that it occurred in wrong. So
yeah, well, she was 2 months. Yeah, she thought it was like 5 days later, but it was really 2 months.
And she's like, I don't know if it was Indianapolis or Terre Haute, but well, you should know that.
Hey, Bob, back me up. The blood scatter guy was in my house the day before he testified alone. Okay, back me up. What in the hell are you talking about? What is she talking? You know, it's just. It's
well,
insane.
that was. She's also been looked up. I don't know. She's been definitely has charges for abuse to animals, which I have no patience for.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go. I've seen that she's charged stuff. I didn't know what it was about.
But I mean, we didn't even need to go in her background to know that. Like, I just looked at it. I was like, if you can't even get the date of this big incident, you're gonna drop this bombshell that's gonna change the whole case. It's gonna shut us all up, right? Like and you can't even get the date or the city right. Then bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crazy.
But I've got to watch you also. I heard you were on Nancy Grace as well.
Yeah, I was on there. I haven't been back on there. They have you go too quick. I'm not a quick, like, I mean, I can if I'm just zipping through. But that's not, I don't know, man. I think if I was just allowed to do the whole thing, it would have just been really obvious. But I mean, at least she was on the same side of logic and reason on there at the end on that case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you have Susan on again?
Well, yeah. I like her. I mean,
awesome.
We're friends.
Okay, that'd be pretty cool. Well, how long do you think the coverage will go on after this? Like, what are you gonna cover next? Because I
don't know. I've just covered all kinds of stuff. I haven't done the Delphi for a week or so. So I figured, hey, I want to do one where people could call in but we always get the same nut job person every single time that calls in, and they never have their facts right. And it's just none of the, I think what it does is it shows you how bogus the pro Richard Allen people are. When they have their own crowd willing to believe anything that they are told, man, they'll just ramble on for hours. But when they're held account for their bogus information, they can't do it. They can't hold a conversation. They'll just go straight into digs or, hey, Gray, your channel makes money, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, yeah, my channel does make money. I've also donated $226,000 of the money that's been brought in the last 5 years. Can any of them claim that? The answer is no, they can't, because they don't do a damn thing for anybody but themselves. Okay. And there you go.
And you're a channel that is also, like, some people want to tune in and find community, and that's fine. And I think that's awesome that people need that. But you're also speaking the truth. You're not doing it you're not, selling conspiracies for money.
Right. No, I mean, I'm just an actual, what I do is I collate information. So like if there's information that's being brought in, I can just figure out like what's the accurate information, what makes sense. And then I put stuff together, and sometimes I have the documents and everything. We work through all those. We put everything together, and I think it's really valuable to have a place where people can go where they're not going to be sold a bill of crap, a bill of goods, as it were. I mean, the thing is that's what these guys do. They just spend every day working their people up. They do a lot better than I do on there or for super chats. I mean, look at a night like tonight. I mean, it's just horrendously supported. And I'm just going over the factual information in the case. Now, if I had those people supporting me, and I was, oh my God, look at this.
Right.
Just selling a bunch of garbage. It'd probably look like a slot machine. You know, that's what's frustrating is you don't get supported as much if you're putting the truth and facts out. You get supported if you're putting out nonsensical garbage.
Right. So does it build more when you build credibility over time and you get long-term followers, or is it more of like the super chat? Like, I just don't know how the YouTube.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what makes tonight, for example, different than yesterday or the day before. The day before, I don't have the recipe for it. It's just, I don't know. I try to get people to support my channel nightly just so I can continue, because I cover cases that like you probably don't watch every night, but 2 days ago we covered 4 cold cases from the 70s. I mean, it's just, you know, we go over them just to get them out there once again to try to help. And then tonight I'm doing a show, and we got a lot of people here, a lot of people commenting, but very little support for the channel. And I don't know what the difference is. So it's hard for me to ever go, hey, everybody, I am going to, you know, like just switch completely over to YouTube, because it's so like I'm still doing the shows, you know, like if you had a restaurant, for example, and you're making, you have a restaurant and you're still giving the food out, people would usually pay, you know, they're paying or supporting the restaurant. But there could be nights where you're actually doing the exact same thing and it's not. So I don't know.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So
I mean, it works usually when there's like these bigger cases and I'm making videos. The videos actually, those are what get you more subs. Like lately I've lost a lot of subs because YouTube does this thing where they clear out like accounts that aren't good. And I'm also not making videos. I've been doing live streams, but when I do live videos, I get way more subs, especially the videos that on cases that are big that people are interested in. And you actually get ad revenue on those. And then the super chats, there's less pressure on those. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why people aren't helping tonight.
So YouTube does take out a big chunk. So some people try to go other ways, like through the Cash App or PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee, right? Like, so we don't know when people do that. Is
right.
that a way to donate?
No, I mean, it pops up on the Sheen for Buy Me a Coffee. We had 4 of those. The last one of those was over an hour and 20 minutes ago. And as a matter of fact, you know, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it to people. People watching know right now, and it's still not getting better. So I'd rather just go do something else.
Well, I see Lillian Galley in your chat. I've seen her on a long time. Awesome lady. Maybe from like 6 years ago. I'm probably even getting her name wrong. But so I think it's so important what you do, because there's people that need to connect. And then
Lillian Gale. Yeah, she's always been. She's really a big, you know, Delphi, Idaho 4 case.
So I think it's important that you keep doing what you do, but then like there's some like those man, I what I was trying to tell you time before is because you have the most accurate you know, I don't know, reconstruction, what do you call it? Simulation of what happened at the bridge. And then now it's trying, if they don't release the video, even I saw one version of the video, somebody saw another. We would like to show you and like show when it switched from this to this. Like if we could even just come on and talk about that content, I think that would be
yeah.
Like, so you don't have to make a video of it, or we'll send you shorts or something of that, because it's really like my frame of reference comes from your videos, from your original reenactment of the bridge. And it's very much very, very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So the only next thing is, when we watch imagine from the video from the phone, and it goes like, that's what I can't even imagine in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I just already made the animation. I'm not going to do any more animations of the girls on.
I know you won't, but I know. But
I mean, it's just such a waste of time. I mean, it's like I already made, and Becky said, "Oh yeah, that's how it was in the video." So it's close, you know, and it shows where the timing and everything, and that's really all that matters. I mean, if I had I don't know. It takes so many hours. It takes hundreds of hours to make one of those animations like that.
Right. So you don't have to do it again. I think the idea, because that's ultimately all that matters. But let's say that, like, I think it's just, I want to see so from Abby's or from Libby's point of view, holding the camera, like if we could still have your simulation and Matt, like what we saw, like where was Bridge at this point?
I know, but I've already shown all. I mean, it's right there. It's obvious just in the video, in the animation.
No, I know your video is obvious, but then some of us saw I think that's going to be a thing is what the 43-second video, what did that show? It was Libby filming, it was upside down, it was ever. So, I mean, you caught the ultimate thing of this is what went down.
Yeah, I just asked because all the family all saw the already edited sort of, I think they did anyways. Kind of, I guess. I mean, it sounded like they headphones on and they had to listen to try to tell them what the girls were saying. So that was kind of just described to me what was on the video by two different sources, a friend of one of the people who watched it and then one of the people who watched it. So I made that animation, you know, but apparently you can, you know, he walks up and you can hear the crunching of his feet underneath the, you know, right down below. I haven't seen it myself, but.
Right. So that would be something separately. I'd like to tell you what I saw, and because it does, you essentially captured the ultimate, like if we had.
You can't see his feet. You can just hear the crunching. And like the phone goes sort of dark. But anyways, all right. I gotta get.
Let's go. Take care.
I'll figure something out. All right. Have a good one. See ya. Bye. All right, you guys. I'm gonna call it a day. Get rid of that. So let's see. Thanks up there to GSU PM, Toxic Tink, Herbert Landscaping, Jessica Schubach, Allie Cake, BGPO, then Little Puppy Paws, Amy Moore, Georgina Stoliker, Jamie S, Valerie Wysong, Double Play Dog Dude, Michelle Wood, Allie Cake, Georgina Stoliker, Kathy Fredmaker, That Kid, Dylan Rounds, Jim Lawn, Herbert Landscaping, Jim Lawn, and Walker Homestead, member for 44 months. Thank you. Alley Cake, Toxic Tink, Jim Lawn, Karen, Quizzical, new member, and then gifted a membership. And Georgina Stoliker, Jessica Schubach right at the end. I don't know what the deal was, but tonight we barely got over 50%. So, you know, no rhyme or reason. Nobody knows. Anyways, thanks for everybody for calling in. I think that's the last time I'm going to try that experiment. The pro Richard Allen are the gutless wonders of the world who absolutely can't defend their case unless they're talking to other conspiratorial nut jobs. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector.
Thanks for coming on, LA.
Is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. ya. With all respect, ya. Just remember,
the
I'm a
audio.
temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end,
There you go.
I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Sorry, I forgot to take the echo cancellation
I'll
off.
just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
The music sucks when you don't have the echo cancellation off. So it probably got way better once I turned that off. Anyways, thanks everybody. I guess all days can't be the same, but it's frustrating when it's not. Thanks everybody. Oh, and thanks also to the, let me thank the Buy Me a Coffee people, Michelle, Lisa, Kirk, Birdie, and Mountain Man right there at the end. And then also Lillian and Mark on PayPal. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. See you guys later.